Commentators and analysts knew that this listing was going to be a big deal when AB InBev went to the markets earlier this week to fund its debt. It raised $47 billion and was heavily oversubscribed, showing an order book nearly 3 times that size.
I'm very excited. This is a very important step for our journey here in South Africa and in Africa as a continent. We're committed to the country, to the continent. This is one of the strong points in the rationale for the whole business. So this marks a very important step for us. Very excited. Very good day for us.
We're very supportive of their inward listing on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. I think that's good for South Africa. It sends a strong signal as well around AB InBev's commitment to the continuity of what we've been building in South Africa and in Africa.
The initial hype on the listing aside, investors will be keeping a close eye on the business in the years ahead.
I think it'll stay round about these levels. Look, I think, make no mistake, the next few years for AB InBev in terms of digesting its latest acquisition, it's going to take time. And it's not going to be easy, and there's going to be lots of regulatory hurdles to surmount in the process. But I think beyond that, the outlook looks great, and that will be reflected in a gradually improving share price.
Locally, there have been suggestions from the union movement that cost-cutting on labour might be in the pipeline.
AB InBev have already declared in terms of their submission that there'll be no job losses as a result of this transaction, so I think that should be reassuring. And I think it would be unlikely there'd be any negativity from the perspective they need Africa as a base, South Africa as a base, to grow the business in Africa. So I think that, frankly, it's a very positive opportunity.
If anything, we're likely to see, at least in the short to medium term, the possibility of new brands coming into this country. And if that's the case, I think there'll be more demand from consumers because it'll create interest and create a lot of hype out there. And in so doing, I think it may increase and improve the opportunities for employment in this country.
It's a big day for the JSE and a big day for the country. And like the interest in the company's bonds, the secondary listing has attracted a lot of interest.
The order book here is very heavily bid, and so there's a lot of investor interest to buy shares in this company. I think that demonstrates, again, the importance of Africa, but it also shows investor confidence that the acquisition of SABMiller was a very wise strategic move.
It took just 21 days to take this listing from nowhere to being put on the board at the JSE, a record here and probably internationally. But what's more important is the message it sends out to the rest of the world and to investors about South Africa. I'm Angelo Coppola for CCTV at the JSE in Johannesburg.